What's up, everybody? Welcome to A Flair for Toys, that uncultured heathen. It's your boy Beef. You're talking to the wrestling t-shirt wearing, championship ring wearing, deal stealing, toy dealing, high wheel riding, dragonfly flying son of a gun. And I'm having a hard time keeping these credit card bills down. Welcome to A Flair for Toys, that uncultured heathen. It's your boy Beef. And today on Beef Tips and Topics, we're going to be talking more about tariffs, and toys. Toy holds, emails coming through, different stuff like that. So, guys, come in, join us. If you can't join us live, just remember this post every 12 hours. So, the next morning on every Tuesday and Thursday, so it'll be Wednesday and Friday is when these posts. You can check out the full video if you didn't have time to make it live. But those who did, welcome in. We're going to start off. We know about the tariffs, but there's like holds. Hasbro has got a hold right now. They're not putting out any pre-orders or anything till they find out more of what's coming down. Now, the tariff did go from 145% to 30% and stuff like that. Some places are telling you that they're going to email you if there's price increases. Hey, what's up, Chris Dearman? Welcome in. Uh, I have not seen any issues yet except for toy holds. Now, I made a statement the other day that I jumped on Hasbro, and then I apologized because it wasn't where I got my figures from. But in the end, I was not wrong because Hasbro is still at fault because that's where they're getting theirs from is Hasbro. So Hasbro is still the culprit of why I have not got my Marvel Nemesis wave. So, but they are putting toys on hold. I don't know what the holdup is getting those over here since those were already out. I mean, they're showing up in stores. A lot of people already have them. I don't know who else of y'all out there may have ordered these and still hasn't got them. But it's a big pain in the butt right now. But a lot of these companies, I'm afraid I talked about this before, and I hope they're not doing it. Please, if you're out there, Hasbro, Mattel, whoever you are, Jada Toys, whoop-de-woo, whatever, don't go and try to use this tariff just to mark stuff up. Now, I have heard some other companies. My buddy was telling me about some company he orders from that comes from out of Japan, and they're charging tariffs and this and that already. And just, it's a mess, guys. But the thing is, be patient. Maybe just cut back a little bit. Maybe go buy you some vintage stuff. If you just got that Jones to really have something, you can get on Evil Bay or find a couple other places, maybe Macari or something else. Um, yes, and price accordingly. And here's the thing. I I don't want these companies to put the upcharge because unlike stuff that goes up and down, bread, gas, when's the last time you seen toy prices go up and come back down? Because I don't remember that. I have never seen that. Now, I'm not saying you can't find something on clearance, and that's what a lot of people are going to do. If you put these other price hikes, people are just going to sit there and try to wait it out and wait for Target to put it out 70%. And then how long is Target going to do that before they say, hey, we can't carry these toys at these prices anymore because nobody's buying them? You see what I'm saying? Uh, Ever hunted a deer? Yes. I used to hunt. Now I just hunt for toys. But yeah, my dad used to take me hunting and survivalist stuff and all that kind of stuff. I was raised up, learned how to do black powder and all that other stuff. My dad was big into that survival stuff and everything. Had me dressing up looking like David Crockett and all that stuff. So I was a cosplayer from a wee little kid now. Um, but back to the tariffs and toys. But Hasbro has put a hold for right now on pre-orders and stuff like that, which I'm fine with that. I'd rather put them a hold, put the stuff on hold than to be putting out a bunch of pre-orders at a certain price and then 2 weeks later say, well, you ordered this, but this is the price, or try to hold you to that price. So we'll see what happens. But I'm just telling you guys, be patient. Just wait this out. It's going to work out. Yeah, we may get a little price hikes, but I don't think it'll be more than about $5 at a pop. But I could be wrong. We'll see. Maybe $10. A lot of companies are using the tariffs. Yeah, exactly. Yes, and that's what I was. That's what I said. What, a month, 2 months ago, that I was afraid some companies were trying to do this, and there for a minute I thought Big Bad was trying to do that. It's like when you sit here and tell me something that may already ordered that's not coming from those factories. Why am I still paying a tariff price on it? Why should I pay a tariff price for something that you already have inside your warehouse? The Entertainment Earth, I am done with Entertainment Earth. Of course, I've been done with them pretty much for a while, but they have took off all discount codes. They don't even have a 75 or $150 and then ships for free anymore, I don't think. They even took Kyle Peterson's code away. So a lot of these companies are even doing that. But there are places out there that are still trying to do good business. So far, Ringside has not upped anything yet. They actually have a sale going on right now, and you can use Ship Free 60, or you can use discount code Kyle, discount code Major. We're trying to work on discount code Beef, but we're not there yet. But a lot of these places are still doing the right thing. The Major Pod Network is not doing any upcharge on anything that you've already ordered. If they end up taking a hit, they say they're just taking the hit. Um, and I think that's a lot of these small companies, that's pretty much what they have to do because they're so new and they don't have the finances like a Hasbro and a Mattel to do that. The ones it affects is the Major Pod, the Hastel Toys, the Zombie Sailors, Rush Collectibles, um, Epic Toys. I know there's some other ones I'm missing out there that are making good product right now. And I've still got some stuff from some of these companies that I heard was shipping and they haven't shipped, and I haven't seen anything else. So it's just trying to play the waiting game, guys. But like I said, if you get the Jonesing that bad that you need something, you can always go to the Evil Bays of the world or the Macaris or, some of your local toy shops. Comic book stores, whatever like that, and maybe find some things and pick up a few things maybe you missed in the past. This might be a good time to do that. I may even look at doing that if nothing's starting to come in. I should have a small shipment from Ringside on Friday, but I think that's just part of the sale stuff I got. Excuse me, because I don't think any of the pre-order stuff is hit yet. I think most of that stuff's not till June, July, and out farther. But Ringside, as far as I know, hasn't put any upcharges, stuff like that. Another place out there, a new place called Jay's Toys and Games. Uh, they may not have as much stuff as you're looking for, but I did buy some stuff from there the other day. I used discount code Kyle, save 15%. Sold 5 figures and ended up coming to like with shipping and everything. Shipping is like $15, but hey, that's not bad. You ship something to somebody else, even a box this size, it's about 12 to $15 anyway. So not too bad a hit there, but altogether it was 112 for 5 figures. I got 3 platinums and 2 chases for 112 bucks. So I think that's a pretty goddamn good deal. So Jay's Toys and Game, discount code Kyle. I did email or message them about getting me a discount code. And I got another company that I'm talking to trying to get something worked out. I have not ordered anything from them yet, but once I do, we'll see how that goes. Uh, so yeah, I think that's about all I got. But at least these companies are at least emailing you and trying to tell you and keep you in the loop somewhat, even though maybe they're not fully being transparent. But I mean, I understand, part of it's business. You can't let everything be known, but do the best you can not to just say, "Oh, here's a chance to get more money." You know what I mean? And, you know, eh, but besides the tariff, that also goes to the stuff which I'm at fault to for us paying some of the prices that we do on this stuff. Once we start buying this stuff and paying that price is never going to change. That maximum Spider-Man, maximum Hulk that we paid 50 and $60 for, I still haven't got mine in hand yet. People have already got theirs. It but I from what I'm seeing, I jumped on it because I wanted to be one to have it and review it with everybody else, which didn't make that happen. But we will see how it goes. But I think it's just a decent Spider-Man figure with some extra accessories. We always told Hasbro and complained, we need more accessories. We need more accessories. So they said, here's more accessories. There's the price. So you're not gonna go get more than what we're already paying for. Which is a shame. One quick update on Power Town. The last I heard, everything's supposed to be a go. They're saying summertime, but we're not seeing any other renders or anything. I've got a couple different waves from them ordered out there. The thing I don't like, and I don't want to get on Power Town because I really wanted Power Town to succeed. I wanted them to be the next coming of Jack's Classic Superstars. But I have heard rumors that people have tried to get their money back because they've been sitting on it for like a year and a half now, guys. A year and a half, however much. And, they had a debacle, a mix up when they first started. Okay, the first set of figures they had were defected. They recalled those and they put more out, right? So basically, what I think they did was they kept the ones that were messed up. And then when they tried to make do for being so long, they said, hey, we want to do something to make it right. So however many figures you ordered, you either got one or two figures. So they sent me two figures, but I did not open these because I already opened the other ones. I'm pretty sure those were like the defective ones that they sent. And I think they even said that, you know. So they sent these and then they sent a coin for like the major pod ones. But what happened when they did this? The company, credit card companies and the banks now are saying that they cannot refund your money because you accepted part of the order already. By them giving you those free items, they're considering that part of your order. And that is just wrong as hell. So they need to get this crap fixed. I mean, if people want to cancel, let them cancel. It's not their fault they've had to wait this long. You know what I mean? So I hope it all gets worked out. I mean, if not, I'm at a couple $100 and never got no figures. But well, at the end of the day, what do? You know what I mean? The best WWE match of all time is his retirement match. I know you're joking, right? That was one of the worst matches ever. Uh, Ultimate Warrior took what 15 elbow drops and still won the match. That was like watching an AEW match. But yeah, I hope you're ripping me on that. But I know a lot of people on here are on TikTok and other places too. Make sure you're following me everywhere. Tomorrow night we'll be back on TikTok. We're doing Pickup with Pals, where I'll show you what I've picked up this last little month or week, whatever, and everybody else who wants to jump in will come in and show off their stuff in a box and talk about it, and we just have a good time. We do Pickup with Pals, we do Figures with Friends, and then we do Conversations with Collectors. Those are all every Friday, and then we do the sub-only lives on Friday at the end of the month. So, talked about the tariffs, talked about the holds. I don't think there's any holds on any wrestling thing. I know we're still waiting on a lot of pre-orders, but I don't think, as far as I know, now don't quote me on this, because I ain't said shit. But don't quote me on this, but as far as I know, except for just pre-orders and being the time allotted, I don't think they're being held up due to anything with tariffs or anything like that. As far as I know, Mattel has not stopped putting out pre-orders and stuff like that. There's a lot of pre-orders up on Ringside and everywhere else. So Worst gimmick. Now, not. I wouldn't say it was the worst gimmick, but it was pretty terrible. It'd go down in the top 10 probably. I think you got to say the Shockmaster with the glittery Star Wars helmet. You know, the gobbledygooker stuff like that. You know, but picking up some new wrestling figures. I haven't seen a price hike on anything yet. Now, where I'm at, I'm not seeing very much stocked. I know a lot of other people are, and it's good for them. I have not seen a wrestling shipper in probably 6 months. So if my area is getting them, they're not putting them out, or they're just not getting them. I don't know what. I didn't get a WrestleMania one. I didn't get the Netflix one. I didn't get none of that. So, and I got 3 Walmarts around me. I tell you, one of the Walmarts around me, the last shipper I seen was that old SummerSlam set with Luger, X Pac, and stuff like that, and Elite. The one that had Brock in the cowboy hat and stuff. That was the last shipper I ever seen, guys, with the Chelsea green. That was the last shipper I saw, so that's how far behind I am. Yeah, TL Hopper was a crappy gimmick as well. Uh, he had to be a plumber. Yeah, I kind of agree. Either Brooklyn Brawler or Barry Horowitz. Don't forget Barry Horowitz, and definitely don't forget the best jobber tag team there ever was the Mulkey brothers. Mulkey Mania was running rampant back in the 80s. Uh, they got like one win, and they were running wild. Uh, but I can talk old school wrestling. We do watch every other Wednesday on the Clapper app at Dro's Beef. We watch old school wrestling. We watched some old WCW last night with some terrible gimmicks as well. El Gigante, Big Josh, Van Hammer, PN News, Johnny B. Bad, Bad Street, and some others. Uh, Yeet, what's going on, Diego? How you doing, guys? I appreciate everybody coming in, man. What I'll show you real quick is talking about for tomorrow on the TikTok is pick up with pals. What that will consist of, a lot of us collectors get together and we will bring out and show everybody what we picked up in the last week, the last month, stuff like that. So this is the one I picked up today. Ricky Starks, absolute. Ricky Starks. Well, he's Ricky Saints now, but I really like the way this figure looks. I like the gear. It almost kind of reminds me of that old Kushida figure, but better. Uh, yeah, I remember that. That was pretty terrible, but still not the worst tag team ever. That would either have to be the Ding Dongs or the Hunchbacks. So, you know, you want to do worse gimmicks and worse wrestlers? Bring it on. I got you. Uh, we picked up, these are from Amazon. Now, if you do order from Amazon, Amazon's usually a pretty decent price and they ship pretty quick. But if you're an inbox collector, probably not want to go the Amazon route. But if you're an opener, it'd be fine. I think these were like $22.99. Yeah, beef, not yeet. 4 letters, one word. Woo woo. Beef. A few more we picked up. We picked up Axiom. Now, I think Amazon thinks they're getting over on us, and they did. They put out their Chase Axiom, and this is what they're sending everybody. So you're not actually getting the Chase, but I still wanted this figure anyway, so I didn't throw a big hoopty woo about it. But just be careful. I think Big Joe Toys got done like that, and a couple other people. So just be careful with that. We did pick up Lexus King, which there's no reason why this guy should not be called Brian Pillman Jr. It's just a miscarriage of justice right there. Vinnie Mac is not there no more, so let's get rid of this stupid stuff where we got to change their names, guys. Um, that's another guy that AEW failed on. They had a perfect time. This guy was hot. The dark side of the ring was out about his daddy and everything. And they in there got him jobbing out to other tag teams and, not even letting his tag team partner take the pin. But, way to go, AEW. Another thing is Flying Brian Pillman. Now, this is another one where they did put out the Austin to this in the Elite a while back. I actually do have it. I just haven't found it in the shed yet, but I know it's in there. But be patient, guys. If you want to pick this up, go ahead and pick this up. I'm pretty sure that they will put out a vault version of the Stunning Steve Austin to go with this, because they know a lot of people probably did not get that one. So I can see them doing that, being part of maybe the next one or the wave after from the Vault series. But don't hold me to that. I don't know anything. I don't work for Mattel. No matter what anybody tells you, don't believe them. I do have stock in Mattel, but other than that. And I finally got first time in the line, first time to own a Jade Cargill. I never had the AEW one, but looks pretty cool. So we'll be showing those tomorrow night and seeing what everybody else brings to the table. And real quick, my man Joseph Gresher sent me this the other night because I never could find it. He sent me the Fortnite Snake Eyes G.I. Joe crossover. And this thing is a fantastic figure. Best figure ever by Fortnite. It's more like a G.I. Joe classified than a Fortnite figure. This thing is spectacular, bro. Bro, it's a television show. No, I knew they wasn't going to let him win. It'd been, Cena hadn't had it long enough. Your favorite wrestler is Greg the Hammer Valentine. Okay, I mean, I've never heard anybody say that before, but okay. Hey, you are more than welcome to that be your favorite wrestler. My favorite wrestler of all time is Ric Flair, hence the intro. If you don't know the intro or never seen it. But let's talk a little bit about wrestling. I can't remember the guy's name. The Real Pro Wrestler or something like that. He's a cool guy. He's on TikTok, but he's a delusional AEW fan. But I like him. He's a good guy. Hopefully we're gonna get a debate and we can debate WWE against AEW because everybody's entitled to your opinion, and that's fine. But sometimes people say stuff, and I'm like, how can you necessarily in your life believe that statement? I actually heard this guy today. He said, if you want to prove yourself as a wrestler, come to AEW. What? Like, what are you smoking over there, bro? The only thing I can think of, and he probably does have a point. I will give him that. I think the point he's trying to make is if you can make it in AEW, you can make it anywhere. Because trust me, they're going to try to ruin you. Name me one person that they have not ruined from being over there. They almost ruined Cody. And Cody said, you know what? I'm out of here. They tried to ruin Punk, tried to ruin his image, talk about how bad he was, this and that. This dude was not doing anything but trying to help people. But these little young bucks who played on the indies thought they were somebody and didn't need to take their advice from a veteran. That's one reason why I love MJF. And they've even tried to ruin MJF. They're trying to build him back up now with the Hurt Business stuff. But before that, they took MJF from up here to right down where everybody else ends up. Now, I don't know how the hell you're doing that. I don't know if it's your terrible booking or what. You got to do something, Tony. Because everything is not great, bro. It's not. But, but I do like this dude. Y'all go give him a follow if you see him, The Real Pro Wrestling. I'm not talking noise about him. I think he puts on a good show. I just want to sit down with him. I've got to pop in with him for a minute and kind of had him, in a little straight, headed thought. But we'll see. We'll see. Maybe we can line out a date and get that on a Tuesday or Thursday over on the TikTok. But I think it would make for a really good little debate. Friendly debate. Nothing mean. I mean, if you like AEW, you like AEW. You know, if you like collecting Power Rangers, you collect Power Rangers. If you like collecting Pokemon, you collect Pokemon. You do whatever makes you happy. Don't worry about what I say. I'm just giving my opinion. Most time I'm stating facts, but we'll call it my opinion. The classic. Yeah, I remember that, and I think most people do if they were watching around that time. Um, I I like Marty Jannetty. I wish he could have got it together. Uh, I think it was a wasted talent. Uh, Not saying it was all done by them, but I think he kind of just he couldn't handle it. You know what I mean? But it happens to a lot of guys, man. But we're not gonna go too extra long. I got about another 5 minutes, and I'm gonna pop off. But that's all I had really. Just a little bit on the AEW, not much there. Vince was the problem. Uh, Vince had a lot to do with a lot of it, but you can't blame Vince for everything. I mean, I guess you could. I mean, you can blame Tony Khan for everything, I guess, but I don't even blame Tony Khan for everything. Um, I think he's just Tony Khan's not a bad guy. He wants to do right. He wants to have a good company, I think, but he can't get out of his own way. It's like it's a letdown for him to have to say something was wrong or he was wrong. Everything's got to be great. Oh, we sold so many tickets. It was great. We got so many views on the max. It's great. Bruh, it's not great. There's, I think people would tolerate Tony Khan more if he just come out and say, yes, we have a long way to prove. But no, he wants to get on the air and say, we were on longer than WCW Nitro. Yeah, because you got unlimited money, bruh. You think if Eric Bischoff had that kind of money that Nitro wouldn't still be on today? Come on, man. I just they try all these hit around corner tight statements and stuff to make themselves look better. And just admit it. I think wrestling's doing better without Vince, to be honest. I mean, Vince was past his prime. Vince was good in his day, but I think he kind of cracked up on us and all the other crap he had going on. But Vince, you can't blame Vince for everything. And Vince did have a lot of good ideas, but every good idea Vince had, he had about another two or three bad ones. Uh, like not ever putting the belt on Luger. He should at least put the belt on Luger. Stuff like that. A lot of other people that could have had runs. Dolph Ziggler. Dolph Ziggler was way misunderused, and stuff like that. But we could go on and on, different wrestling stuff for days. Yeah, I be honest, I still don't think that would have worked. I get where you're coming from, and I think they could have tried it, but you got to realize it's so hard for people, especially in the wrestling business, to get along, especially in like the ownership, Booker, territory part of it. I mean, none. It was hard for people to come together and work when they tried to do those super clash ones with Memphis and stuff like that with Von Erich and Lawler and all that. Those Clash of the Champions, not Clash of the Champions. I can't remember the name of it now, but anyway, those just didn't work out, man. It's a good idea, and a good thought, but it wouldn't have worked. Somebody would have got in the way. Somebody would have thought their guy had to go over here and done this and done that, and it's just not going to work. That's why a lot of stuff didn't work, because people like Hogan or somebody would come in and say, that don't work for me, brother, and change the finish and stuff like that. But anyway, guys, I am done for today. If you didn't get to watch the whole show, you can come back and watch it. It'll be on tomorrow. Give it 12 hours and it will load. So until then, that's all I got for beef tips and topics. And I may be leaving, but I'm still that uncultured heathen.